Okay, so thus far in our reading of Conundrum, one of the things that has struck me odd or stood out to me really is Morris's relationship with other people and how they tend to treat her, because both of those things I think are determined by the closeness of how Morris is with the other party. And the closer those two parties are, the more feminine Morris is perceived to be. On another level of that, if any party decides to act on the perceptions of Morris being feminine, it in turn confirms for the reader and Morris's womanhood. And then related to that is the matter of whether the other party's perceptions of Morris are ever explained or articulated out loud. The first example that we have of this is the woman in the church, and the woman, by undressing, showed her something special, and I can't say that at that point Morris is perceivably feminine yet, because I don't think she was. And that sort of makes sense because at that point Morris is still very young and still sort of figuring out what feminine and masculine means. But it's definitely there's still definitely something special about her. Fast forward to when she's in the army, her femininity, I think, has definitely grown, because at that point she is sort of flirting with understanding what it is to be feminine and to be a woman, and at the same time learning that she really, really enjoys those things. So the army men are protecting her and they're pursuing her and generally giving her more opportunities to act in a feminine nature, or traditionally feminine nature. Because those men were closer to her, and because of the passage of time, obviously, there is more femininity within Morris that is still hidden and unarticulated. Otto is a different case entirely. He, I believe, is the person who has been closest emotionally and personally to Morris at that point, and he likely thought of Morris, I believe, as a woman and therefore was attracted to her, despite the fact that he likely identified as a heterosexual male, as was assumed in the time period. So Otto is also the person, not coincidentally, I believe, to come the closest to ever articulating anything about Morris's femininity. So when he wraps his arms around her and says, "God, I wish you were a woman," that's like the closest that Morris has ever had to truly being treated like a woman, and simultaneously almost the farthest away that she's ever been. Elizabeth is the person who, thus far in the memoir, has definitely been closest to Morris. I mean, obviously they got married and they had children, because I think of the fact that Morris's femininity was explained by Morris and embraced and accepted by Elizabeth. It made their relationship grow even stronger. So overall, I am definitely going to be looking for links and other ways of qualifying the relationships that Morris has with other people in relation to whether or not she has articulated her womanhood and her gender, and how close she is to said person. So I guess we'll see where that goes.